Right now at midday, we're following breaking news, a baby death in an animal cruelty investigation. York-Poquoson deputies say this woman, 40-year-old Kristen Graham, left an 11-month-old girl and a dog in a hot car.
The child and dog both died yesterday, and now she's in jail facing several charges, including child neglect. And the sheriff just wrapped up the news conference. Let's get right to 10 on your side's Andy Fox, who is live at the sheriff's office with those very disturbing details. Andy.
It was an extremely detailed press conference. This is the person who's been arrested, 40-year-old Kristen Danielle Graham. I'm going to bring in the sheriff now, Ron Montgomery of York-Poquoson. We're going to bring the story up that she leaves the house where she is taking care of this child at about 1 in the morning. She goes to see a friend until
approximately 8 a.m. yesterday morning.
And the child and the dog left in the car while she is visiting with the friend. She comes home to her home on Seaford, right?
Correct.
And she leaves the dog and the child in the car. Pick up the story from there.
She arrives back home somewhere around 8:30 a.m. yesterday morning, pulls into her driveway, turns off the car, rolls up the window, leaves the child and the small dog in the vehicle. She gets a phone call somewhere between 2 and 2:30 p.m. yesterday afternoon that she says woke her up. She goes outside to check on the child, and that's when she discovers that the child has died.
Did she ever explain so far why she left the dog and the child both dead found dead, why she left the dog and the child in the car?
We're still exploring that right now. She's given a couple of different statements. Initially, she told us that the child was asleep in the car seat, basically indicating to us that she left it there because the child was asleep. We're still exploring other possibilities and other statements that she's made, so we're still investigating that.
Because that is kind of incriminating in that she has acknowledged that she knew that the child was in the car.
Oh, she's acknowledged that she knew the child was in the car, yes.
And at one point she said she was in the car with the child.
That's correct. Part of her original statement was she said she was in the car the entire time, but our investigation says otherwise.
Right. And then and the incriminating part of that was that she left the child in the car because the child was sleeping.
Well, she said her explanation for leaving the child initially was because the child was asleep.
Right. Now, she is charged with
felony child neglect.
During the news conference, you said something could happen that could increase that to what kind of a charge?
Well, right now, the child is at the medical examiner's office in Norfolk. Based on their findings, we could upgrade these charges to homicide at a later time.
Okay, what will that take?
It would take the finding from the medical examiner's office to say that this is a homicide.
You are investigating whether she was intoxicated, yes?
We have collected evidence to determine whether she had any alcohol or illegal drugs in her system at the time.
Did she show remorse when you were questioning her, or your people were?
I don't have any information about that.
Okay, what happens next in this case?
She's in the Virginia Peninsula Regional Jail at this point. She'll have a court date set, and obviously, like I said, if there's any upgraded charges, then she'll have to face that as well.
Ron Montgomery has been part of this operation out here for 48 years.
48 years, yes, sir.
What do you think about this case?
It's a horrible case. Anytime that you're investigating the death of a child, and we've had that several times in the last couple of years, it affects everyone in the agency. The investigators, the officers that are original people on the scene, the medical emergency people. We all have kids, and I know that everybody goes home and hugs their kids or their grandchildren a little tighter after something like this.
Ron Montgomery, Sheriff, thank you so much. You've been so generous with your time. We appreciate it. That is the latest. I'll have another update coming up at 12:30. We've been here with Sheriff Ron Montgomery with York-Poquoson Sheriff's Office, and that is the latest from here. A tragic story out here. Sheriff's Office now investigating it. Back to you.